Rockhampton, when I was growing up, was much quieter. Much smaller population, very few cars. I think our milk at school in the very early years was even delivered by horse and cart, and that makes me feel my age. I could say it was friendlier, but I think Rockhampton is still a very friendly place. It is just that when there are so few people, everybody knows everybody else, and it's like family, really. It's a much closer environment. But there were far fewer facilities too. So, you know, where you win, you also lose. There have been a lot of changes. Probably the introduction of the university, better educational facilities, better medical facilities. But from my personal viewpoint, I suspect that it would be the building of the Pilbeam Theatre in 1979. It opened up a lot of things for Rockhampton audiences. In the past, if you wanted to see a production, you'd have to travel, and not everyone has the money to do that. That makes it quite an expensive exercise, especially for people with families. So for me personally, to be able to see shows in the Pilbeam Theatre from various different genres was very exciting. I think theatre and the arts generally are about education every bit as much as they are about entertaining. And to explore these genres and then further read about them, for me, who was involved in performing, was a great exercise. Peace. Probably the peace. Everywhere that you go, there are levels of noise. And just in a city, which I don't tolerate well, there are so many levels of noise, and there is not such a thing as silence. Rockhampton is still relatively silent at night, but during the day you can hear distant traffic, planes. You know, those things weren't around when we were little. Look, I think I can remember many times when people helped each other out. I can remember my father mowing a neighbour's lawn when he was very unwell, repeatedly for years. I can remember my neighbour when my children were small. If she heard me getting cross, she'd be standing at the bottom of the steps with a plate of homemade flapjacks and saying, "Put the kettle on." And then later, when she was ill, I'd take her dinner in at night. So yes, I can remember, but I don't think that's something that has stopped. I mean, I'm a member of the Rockhampton Musical Union. I'm a member of the Uniting Church. I've been closely involved with the Eisteddfod. There are so many things that I am part of in this city, and every one of them is full of giving people, volunteers who continually pay it forward. And I don't think that has stopped. I think sometimes big cities struggle to create a community. I think Rockhampton has a community, and I think that is something that we need to hang on to very carefully. That would have to be the burning of the last dunny cart. So in my lifetime, and I'm afraid I can't remember the year, and I actually tried to find a newspaper cutting, which I thought I had, but the Rockhampton Musical Union Choir sang for the burning of the last dunny cart. And at the moment, we're in the Rockhampton Library, which is built on the area where the dunny cart was burnt. There was an area cleared and the cart was placed on it, and a platform was built on the back of the cart on which we sat and acted and sang and jigged around for quite a while a large, very large crowd gathered in the grounds of City Hall. And eventually the evening culminated in the burning of the dunny cart. I kid you not. It would be a workplace health and safety nightmare, I'm sure, these days, but in those days, it was celebration time, and the city went wild. I think outsiders get two things wrong about Rockhampton. One, they think we are all about bulls and mining, and I don't think that's true. We have an enormous arts community here who are all supportive of each other. Different organisations who all have various needs to look out for their own organisations, but they will always help each other out. It's a great group. The other thing that I think people get wrong about Rockhampton is they think we're cliquey and it's hard to find friends and it's hard to get involved. That's not so, but you do have to get involved first. There are so many things you can be part of, and if you're thinking of moving to town, get involved in something, because that's how we build our social structures here. It's not sort of based in a pub culture or anything like that. It's more get involved, meet doing something, and then come together after it. I hope that they'll understand that while the landscape here modernised, people largely didn't. The communal nature of the place. There seems to be a current trend, probably among my age group, to denigrate young people. Having been a teacher of hundreds, maybe thousands, and been involved with them in various productions that I've been involved in, I think many of our young people are wonderful, but they don't get much publicity. No matter what age group you grow up in, one generation will always criticise another. And I hope they realise that we are a community, we're across cultures, we're across ages, and the unity will outlast the separation.